different strategy. You just have to support that. So we're seeing a lot of that multi-cloud just through accident, and some through strategy. I think the strategy is more on the leading organizations who are thinking about, well, how do I get better performance for applications based on their design? But yeah, I think that's a struggle that everyone runs into. Is multi-cloud is here to stay, and as you pointed out, Adam, it's going to grow for a lot of organizations. They are planning on more clouds in their infrastructure.
Yeah, and I think that's reflective as a pivot to more multi-cloud by design, as opposed to kind of multi-cloud by accident or by default.
Right. Okay, the second question, John, this could be a good one for you. Can AI simplify multi-cloud management?
Yeah, obviously AI is a hot topic these days. I think in this area, the way I think about it at least is maybe by adding intelligence to automation, which is really critical to operate at scale. These environments are so dynamic. When you're talking about things like updates and configurations, manual processes break down, but folks still have some trepidation when it comes to automation. They still want kind of control to ultimately push the button. But as AI inspires some confidence in this area, I think that will help scalability. So that's maybe one on the management side, thinking about kind of discovering assets, provisioning, things like that. But on the security side as well, there's kind of two tracks. So detection of anomalous activity. We've been kind of going down that path for a while.
Yeah.
But then on the management side, how do you optimize incident detection, response, things like guided workflows, but again with confidence are all important. So kind of circle back to AI. Automation helps organizations get to scale, improve efficiency, and I think AI helps improve confidence in those areas and help practitioners have confidence in the decisions that automation is providing.
Yeah, I totally second that. One of the things that as a vendor, of course, of tools, we obviously look at AI as an enabler, but it is such a broad area. So many things you can do with AI, and you've got to be careful that you don't overstep those boundaries. I think where we're seeing benefit with our customers is we're using AI, and John, you pointed out really concisely, is the configuration management sometimes can be complex. And if you can use an AI system that can predict or at least show where you're making a change or potentially making a change that could affect the infrastructure, whether it's a cloud infrastructure or on-prem infrastructure, giving guidance to the administrator before they put those changes in and commit them, and AI kind of stepping in and saying, look, if you do that, these are going to be downstream effects before you make that change. Do you want to do that? We've also seen when you do make a change, we can use AI to say, look, this change is affecting this infrastructure component. You might want to back that out or make a change over there. So I think there's a place for it, but I agree. It's early. There's a lot of capabilities that we could probably dream about, but we have to be careful about walking that line of not over rotating to AI. So during this, actually, Adam, this is for you. Were there any insights about SecOps in the survey?
Yeah, so that's a good question. That we did talk a little bit about kind of the acceleration of some SecOps workflows, things like incident detection, investigation, right? So there's a little bit there for sure, but there's also another data point, right? So we asked another question. It was something to the effect of, and it was very comparable to the resilience data point we showed, which was over the last 12 months, how often has any cloud-hosted business critical workload suffered from a successful compromise by a bad actor, right? So this could be, it could be a ransomware infection, as John alluded to, or it could be, some other type of unauthorized access, etc. And what we did see is it mirrored the resilience data point we had, which was the leaders were much more apt to say, that's never happened in the last 12 months, or if it's happened, it's only happened once, right? So it's a smaller scale issue, whereas the nascent organizations were much less likely to say that hasn't happened or it's only happened once. So it definitely mirrors and kind of it's well aligned to that